I mean, good Lord. I just have to tell you, I can't believe the U.S. government give you any money.
黒森峰夫です。今世の中はグローバリズムという名の大きな文化的経済的な変革の時期だと言われ、メディアに出没する文化人たちはこれを何か良いものであるかのように話します。しかしグローバリズムとは世界各地のさまざまな条件によってそこに定着している固有の文化を世界規模の商品展開に対する障壁であると考えてこれを破壊し、大量生産型の均質な価値観に置き換える傾向を持っています。またその一方でグローバリストが率いる超大企業たちは経済的に成功しているにもかかわらず、いろんな理由をつけて政府から手厚い補助金を受け取り、しかしその利益を国や国民に還元しません。また労働力の安い国家や地域に製造業を移動し、既存の産業構造を持続不可能にしています。要するにグローバリズムとは一握りの特権的超大企業の利己的な搾取行為を正当化し、これを固定する地球規模の産業的ファシズムだということなんです。今回アメリカ共和党のジョシュ・ホーリー上院議員が国土安全保障政府問題常設小委員会の公聴会でインテルの最高貿易責任者 CTO であるジェフ・リテナーに対してインテルの企業姿勢全般に質問しましたが、そのやり取りがグローバル企業の実態をよく表していると思います。アメリカは半導体チップの製造開発が今や国家の命運を握っている実情からインテル社に多額の補助金を出していますが、ホーリー議員はインテルがその補助金を中国に投資しているのではないかと疑問を投げかけます。またインテルの中国への投資が非常識な規模であることも指摘し、中国はアメリカの同盟国ではなく敵対的存在であるのにどうしてそのようなことをするのかを問います。そして中国国内におけるインテルの活動は強制労働に支えられていることを指摘します。インテルのそれらの行為はどのようにしてアメリカの利益になるのでしょうか。動画をご覧ください。
Why is it that your company is investing so much in China, particularly in Chinese artificial intelligence and semiconductor startups?
Yeah, China is the second largest economy in the world. Any proceeds that we actually make in China, we reinvest back into the U.S. so that we can contribute to U.S. leadership.
Well, wait a minute. So you're telling me it's good for the United States that you are investing billions of dollars in Chinese artificial intelligence? Let me just read you from a Financial Times article. Intel's venture capital arm has emerged as one of the most active foreign investors in Chinese artificial intelligence and semiconductor startups at a time that the chip maker is receiving billions of dollars from Washington to fund a technological arms race with Beijing. Is the money that you're getting from the United States government enabling your investment in China?
At this point, we have not received money from the United States, but the money that we're to receive is invested entirely in the United States to grow semiconductor manufacturing.
You have 43 China-based technology startups. Since your venture fund was launched in the early 1990s, has invested in more than 120 Chinese groups, including their data provider Crunchbase. I'm still quoting from the FT article. You've continued to back fledgling Chinese companies, even in the past year, even as many American companies have exited the market, the Chinese market that is, under pressure from U.S. authorities. It just seems strange to me that you're spending so much money, even as you're set to receive billions of dollars. By the way, I can't believe that you get no money from Washington, D.C. I find that hard to believe. But why is it that you are continuing to double down on the Chinese market? I mean, is this a good thing? Is it a good thing for Intel to be investing in Chinese artificial intelligence? I mean, they're our chief competitor.
The reason for our investment, Senator, is that there are unique characteristics, technologies that we can leverage so that we can build the greatest products here in the United States.
Well, yeah, I have no doubt that you're able to turn a significant profit off of what you invest in China, but how that benefits, inures to the benefit of the United States is opaque to me, not clear to me. What about your relationship with your suppliers in Xinjiang and Uyghur forced labor? Do you condemn the forced labor that the Chinese government and its suppliers use? I think maybe your mic's off.
I'm sorry, Senator. That particular question, I would leave that answer to the experts. I'm not an expert on that.
Well, wait a minute. You're not an expert on whether or not there's forced labor in China?
Correct.
Well, wait a minute. You're not willing to say here today that the Chinese are exploiting the Uyghurs?
I would leave that answer to that question to the experts.
What does it take an expert to know that there's slave labor in China? The Uyghurs are enslaved. Do you know who the Uyghurs are?
I do.
Okay. So are you willing to say that what the Chinese authorities are doing to the Uyghurs is wrong?
Sir, I'm not an expert to be able to make that
Oh,
case.
good Lord. I can't believe you're saying this. And, you know, what's alarming about this is your company did the same thing. In December 2021, you issued a letter to your suppliers saying that the company is required to ensure our supply chain does not use any labor or source goods or services from the Xinjiang region. But then you apologize for it a week later on Chinese social media, saying that that letter was only written to comply with U.S. law. And now you're telling me you don't have a stance on it at all. Is that really your position?
Senator, I'm not in a position to make that statement.
You're not in a position to condemn forced labor in China?
I would condemn forced labor. I'm not an expert to be able to weigh in on whether China is engaging in such actions.
You have billions of dollars of investments in China. You are investing in Chinese artificial intelligence. You are investing in Chinese semiconductors. You are making who knows how much money in China, but you won't say that the Uyghurs being exploited is wrong? What is wrong with you people? That's not a rhetorical question. I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Personally, I believe that slave labor is wrong, yes.
Personally, well, oh, good. Well, I'm glad we've gotten that far. Now, why is your company associating itself with it?
I am not aware that my company is associated with it.
I cannot believe that we are sitting here having this conversation. I cannot believe that it is not easy for you to say that Intel will have nothing to do with forced labor and what the Chinese government is doing to the Uyghurs, a religious minority who are enslaved as we sit here and speak today. I can't believe that you won't just clearly say that's wrong, we condemn it, we will have nothing to do with it. This is astounding.
Senator, we do not support or tolerate our products being used in forced labor, slave labor, or child labor.
Yeah, but you just sat here and said that you don't have any idea if it's really going on in China.
But I'm not an expert in that.
It doesn't take an expert. Everybody knows that this is the truth, right? I mean, would you give me the same answer about the Holocaust? Do you have to be an expert in that to know that it was wrong and that it happened? I mean, good Lord. I just have to tell you, I can't believe the U.S. government give you any money if this is what you're going to do with it and this is going to be the position of your company. Let me just ask you about one other thing while I have you here. Intel is laying off, 15,000 workers now in this new plan that you've just announced, or cost-saving plan for 2025. How many of those 15,000 workers are Americans?
Senator, I don't have a number at this point of who's being laid off. I can tell you that laying off anybody is no easy decision.
You considered all other ways of cost-cutting measures before you laid off the 15,000? Is that what you're telling me?
We are facing economic headwinds, and to be able to make sure the company is operating efficiently, we are going through a downsizing moment.
Did you think it was efficient to give your CEO a 45% pay increase year over year while you're cutting 15,000 jobs? Mr. Gelsinger, I think it is. He made $11.6 million in 2022. Now he's making $17 million. Is that an efficiency?
I'm not an expert on his salary.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you don't appear to be an expert on much, but I tell you what, it should not be hard to say that American jobs are important, American national security is important, and slave labor is wrong. And funding slave labor in China is absolutely an atrocity. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
インテルの回答にホーリー議員は呆れていましたけれども、これを見てインテルが素晴らしい企業だと思う人はいないでしょうね。ホーリー議員のこのような質問の背景には、今の民主党政権がインテルに多額の金銭的補助をしていることがあります。こちらの記事がその辺の事情を分かりやすく整理してくれています。ジョー・バイデンは今年3月、インテルに対して85億ドルの助成金と110億ドルの連邦融資、合わせて190億ドル、2兆7000億円以上を与えると発表しました。政府がインテルにこの莫大な助成金を与えることによって、アメリカ国内で3万人の雇用が生まれるとバイデンは自慢したわけです。そのお金はもちろん納税者の負担になるわけで、それがなんと1人を雇うために28万3000ドル、約4000万円かかるというんですよ。インテルの社員を1人雇うために4000万円援助するのは政府としてどうなんだろうと思いますよね。しかしなんとこの新規雇用3万人には建設労働者2万人が含まれるというんですよね。インテルの社員じゃないんです。おいおいおい、新規労働者ってわずか数ヶ月の一時的な雇用でしかないですよね。しかもどう考えたってその人たちが4000万円ももらえるわけがない。その何分の1でしょう。その差額はどこに行くんですかね。3万人の新規雇用から一時的な建設労働者2万人を引いたら1万人しか残らないですよね。でもインテルの2025年の計画では1万5000人をクビにすると言ってます。そうなると3万人の新規雇用どころか5000人の雇用カットですよ。バイデンがインテルに与えた2兆7000億円は一体何のためだったんでしょう。この記事ではバイデンが特定の企業にこうして支出する助成金とトランプさんが過去に行った減税策を比較する論文を引用し、トランプ減税は大幅な投資をもたらしたと結論しています。つまりその投資は多くの人の雇用につながったわけですね。助成金ではなく減税こそが正しい経済政策であるというのは多くの人の認めるところです。カマラ・ハリスの言うトランプは企業ばかりを減税してエコひいきだ、中産階級を苦しめているという言葉にうなずくのは愚か者だけです。本当のエコひいきは特定の企業にだけ莫大な助成金を与える民主党のグローバル戦略です。それで儲かるのは助成金を受けた特定の超大企業だけで、他には誰の利益にもならずマイナスだけが残ります。またお会いしましょう。黒森峰夫でした。